So what do you do with all of those mismatched wine glasses? Give them away? Heck no. Paint them. Look at these. Aren't these adorable? I'm going to show you how easy it is to make these literal works of art. And they are so super simple. You're not even going to believe how simple these are to make. Okay, first of all, you need a couple of products that are pretty important. First of all, we're talking about paint just for glass. This is a glass paint, but it's a liner. And what it's used for is when you're painting on glass, you can outline designs, but we're really going to use it for our beads to stick to. And it's made specifically for glass. And just as important is our surface cleaner for the glass, because we want the paint to stick to the glass so our beads stick to the paint. Okay? Secondly, or thirdly, I lost track. You need really cool beads. And this is going to be my color scheme of beads today. How yummy is that? Okay, now before I take you through the process, let me just show you some ideas. And you want to be thinking about your design before you get started. So, for example, this glass right here, I did some curly things with the liner. Gives it a whole different look. This glass, I did up and down, kind of a zigzag pattern, up and down. This glass, I not only added beads, but some cutout hologram type confetti. It looks awesome. This glass, I did little circles, but I not only did the glass itself, but I did the base too. And instead of just beads, added some shells in there and it gave it a whole new look. And this glass, I just did kind of a little bit of everything. And I had all different kinds of leftover beads. And I just added whatever I had. And it turned out absolutely gorgeous. So as you can see, each glass is completely different. And you know what? I also did a carafe, which I thought is pretty cool to kind of, add to the whole ensemble here. Everything is different. They're all unique. And that is what is so brilliant about this. Okay, so let me show you what you need to, in order really to be successful at this. You're going to want to find a big pan, just like this, a plastic pan, but something that has some edge to it. You don't want to use anything flat because when you start dumping beads on, then they kind of go all over the place. Then you're going to take your surface cleaner and a cotton pad, and you want to clean it really well. And basically what I'm doing is I'm not only removing any dirt and oil that might be on the glass from me touching it, but it actually creates a bonding agent for the glass paint itself. So it is pretty important. And you're going to want to do this wherever you're going to put any of your glass paint. So if you're going to do it down here, you're going to want to do it there as well. I'm just going to do mine here for right now. The other thing you don't want to do is go too high up on your glass so that your beads hit where your lips will touch. Definitely don't want to do that. So this actually dries pretty quickly. And before I put it in the pan, I'm going to go ahead and draw my design. And I have a little bit of working time. Actually quite a bit of working time before the design dries. So I think I'm going to do something just really simple. I'm going to do some just straight lines like this. And look, do you see where I kind of messed up right there? Don't worry about it because that's all going to get covered up by the beads. I think this is going to be really pretty. I'm thinking it's going to kind of look like a flower. Oh, see? And don't worry about that big bubble right there because it's, once again, it's going to get covered up. So let me just look at that, make sure I have everything where I want it. Put that out there like that. Okay, now I'm ready to add my beads. Now let me just point something out here. I don't know if you can get in there, Rob, and show that right there. It's kind of a straight line. And I really want some depth and thickness to this paint. So I'm just going to go over that because the beads really do have to have something to grab onto. Okay, so here we go. This is really the fun part. So I'm going to start with some of the bigger beads. I have these bugle beads here, just like that. Oh, aren't those pretty? And what you want to do is just take your glass and just kind of dump them on, just like that. And the reason why, this is exactly the reason why you want a higher lip, because even then, some beads are going to fall out. If you have a low lip, I'm telling you, beads are going to go everywhere, and you're going to be really mad at me because you're going to have beads all over your floor. Okay. All right, so here we go. And it also catches the beads so that the ones that don't stick, you can use them again. So as you can see, I'm deciding to put most of my design here at the base. Okay, I think that's enough of that color. Then what I'm going to do is put the rest of the beads back in the container. And if you want to do this really fast, then you take a couple of containers and then just go from container to container. Okay, now let's go with the pink. And these are really small, so these are going to fill in all the nooks and crannies. This glass liner, by the way, comes in a couple of different colors. It comes in white, black, and of course gold. Actually, I'm going to take the rest of these out here. And of course, I know I'm mixing them on here, but I want to make sure, because I might want to use these beads for, something else. So that's why I'm not, that's why I'm separating them and putting them back in their containers. Oh my gosh, it's so darn cute. Okay, I'll do one more go round. You know what? This is a really fun thing to do with your girlfriends and have a little party, a little get together, and everybody bring over their mismatched wine glasses, and that way you guys can, yeah, that's okay. That way you guys can decorate glasses, go from bin to bin. So, okay, just put that on there like that. And this, I did this last because there's already a bunch of mismatched pieces in there anyway, so whatever ends up falling off, I can just put it right back in this jar anyway. And I'm just going to lightly, very lightly, tap these on. Okay, oh, see I'm getting a little bit of paint, that's okay. I see where there's some missing, put that on there. Okay, now once you've done that, just give the glass a little tap, because anything that didn't stick will come off. And voila. Ooh. See, some of it's still falling off. I got some pieces sticking straight out there. I'm just going to push them up in there. Oh my gosh, look at that. How cute is that? Now what you want to do is you want to let this dry completely, and then you're going to tap it again on the side. You're going to even take your glass and do this. And take your fingers and rub all over it, because whatever bead didn't stick, it's going to eventually fall off anyway, and it might fall off while somebody's standing there holding it, and you don't want that either. So go ahead and do that. So once this dries, then you've dusted all the little beads off, then you are good to go. One thing you don't want to do is put this in the dishwasher. Sorry, you're going to have to wash this one by hand. But wow, how cute is that?